If Arteta fails to deliver a trophy at the end of this season, would you call for Arteta to be fired?
Of course.
Welcome to our weekend review segment on Score Review TV. We're taking a look at major games that were played at the weekend, precisely in the English Premier League. It was a 5-goal thriller at the Emirates. Manchester United had the last laugh. Two managers, two very different trajectories. I mean, so much happened in that game. A game where everyone looked for Arsenal to pick the win and kept their hands firm on the, keep their eye on the trophy. What went wrong for Arsenal in that game today?
Well, so many things went wrong. I'm extremely disappointed. I'm embarrassed because I don't even know where to start analyzing the game from. I think the players are to be blamed. The coach as well, has his own blame to take as well. But definitely, it all comes down to how much these players, how much this group of people want it. And it was extremely embarrassing for the whole Arsenal fan base, both in the stadium, at home, wherever we're watching it from. It was extremely embarrassing. The players didn't show up. Just a single team wanted it more, and it wasn't Arsenal. Man U played with efficiency, with extreme technical ability, which is something that you expect from a team that wants to win the league. But it just seemed like a team wanted it more yesterday, and it was Manchester United. So yeah, that is what I feel about it.
The Arsenal boy lacked the enthusiasm and passion to win that game, coming in there from Chike. And frankly, I think a certain Martin Odegaard needs, before on the preview of that game, I told you that perhaps Arteta will need to drop a certain Martin Odegaard coming into that game. I think Odegaard lacks some sort of creativity recently. He's not delivering for an attacking midfielder. When Haaland came into Premier League, it was Kevin De Bruyne that made him settle in very easily. And Odegaard lacks that creativity. He does not know how to break the defense anymore. All he does most of the times is hold the ball, pass to the flanks, and expect them to do the miracle. Isn't it time for Arteta to say obviously that precisely Odegaard needs to be dropped for easy, at least for a couple of games until he's able to pick up, get his mojo back?
That is also down to the manager. Odegaard is his captain. You don't go into a football match without your captain. And I understand the fact that yes, your captain or anyone can be out of form and you have to start with someone else. But even Eze also is not in form. Eze is also out of form. And it seems that, to me, every day it's looking like a very, very wrong reason where Mikel Arteta made Odegaard the captain of Arsenal Football Club.
Okay,
and even if there is a time where Odegaard was suitable to be Arsenal's captain, I think it has moved beyond him, because there is a mentality that is needed in this team right now,
exactly,
which is not what Odegaard as a captain has, which is not what he has. And I don't know why Mikel is not seeing it. I understand that he may not want to change his captain right now, but it's obvious, that we need a change of leadership. Odegaard doesn't last more than, in the past 3 matches, I think, Odegaard has not lasted more than 60 minutes.
Yeah.
He's always hooked because of his poor performance. And when the players see that their captain is not always at his best, who do they look to for that mojo, for that inspiration, for that ginger? Who do they look to that can say, okay, let's do this, let's add pressure, who do they look up to for that flair? That mentality that should galvanize everyone. He doesn't offer it. So it's too bad, because right now our 2 attacking midfielders are not in form, and it's just how it is. We just have to flow with it.
Arsenal needs some motivation while on the pitch. Make that call. Who do you think should replace Odegaard? Because obviously Odegaard is not the man to lead that team. He looks very down. Who are you going to make the call to replace Odegaard?
Firstly, I said some time ago, I think our last episode, that Arsenal has the best team in Europe.
Obviously,
when I look at that squad, I think any manager will be licking their lips to get a hold of that squad. So Odegaard being replaced, I think it's up to the manager to get the best out of him. The way Arsenal play is not. It's too predictable.
Very much.
We don't even go. Arsenal don't go through the middle. We don't attack through the middle. Odegaard just passes the ball, hold it, run around, pass. There's nothing unpredictable going on in the middle of the park.
There's no creativity whatsoever.
Yeah, it just goes through the side, either through Saka or through Trossard, and one of them has to then cross the ball or get a corner, which is not something that is sustainable. Any team that sits back or that has a very solid shape against this present Arsenal system is unlikely to concede a goal. Arsenal find it very, very difficult when a team sits back, have a system that can prevent them from penetrating from the wings. So there's no alternative approach. To someone that can replace Odegaard, they are already there. We have Eze. Waneri is now on loan at Marseille. Very good player as well. Yeah. Arteta refused to use.
He made an instant impact.
Scored a goal on his debut. Yeah. So these are players that have that edge, that oomph, that extra ability that can create changes in games. But the problem is how the coach uses this player. What is his approach to games? If plan A doesn't work, what is your plan B? What is your plan C? You understand? So our plan B cannot be corners. Because if Saka or Trossard doesn't create something from the wings, there's no penetration to the middle, then the only option we have is corners. And that is not sustainable.
At all.
So for me, the tools we need are there. It's just for the manager to use them properly.
Very tough one right now. If Arteta fails to deliver a trophy at the end of this season, would you call for Arteta to be fired? Me personally, I will.
Of course. I think I said it before that every manager that is brought into a team should have a mission for that team.
Indeed.
And aside from having a mission for the team, a manager is brought in based on his capacity and what he will be able to achieve. For instance, if a team is in a relegation battle, they call maybe Sean Dykes or Big Sam to save them from the relegation battle. If you need to win a league, you call Ancelotti, Mourinho, Guardiola. If you need some structure in your team, like now, Man Utd have called Carrick. That was when Arsenal called Arteta. So I feel that the mentality which is lacking is down to Arteta not being a champion himself. It's down to him not being able to have that champion mentality and communicate that ability to his players as well. So I don't think he has that edge to lead us now to glory if he doesn't achieve success this season. That is what I think about that. So I think he should leave if he doesn't work out.
It's been over 6 years now. I think I have enough
with
time.
So much money spent, players brought in, his players, because he handpicked these players.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so he should be able to deliver on something, and not every time. You've had over the past few seasons, you've had players bottling the leagues. You've brought in new players, and these players still want to bottle it. So it cannot be the players now. It has to be the manager. If the new players are replicating that mentality of bottling, that means it's no longer the players' issue. It's not the manager, how the manager thinks about games, his approach to games, and finding ways to break down teams. So I think that is it.
Arteta kind of likes the mentality of a winner. If he has gone, 2 seasons back to back, finishing second, and he cannot secure a league this season, I personally also think Arteta will need to make way for perhaps a new manager that has the mentality to deliver Arsenal the silverwares that the fans so much need. Soberslide Classic was not enough to save a declining Liverpool in that match against Bournemouth that ended 3-2. For me, I was happy for Bournemouth because if a team in a Premier League you manage to score 2 early goals in the first half and you end up drawing or losing that match, it's very disappointing. So I'm very happy for Bournemouth to be able to pick up a win against Liverpool. In that, looking at that Liverpool team, it looks as if they go hot, they go cold, they go. What's happening at Liverpool?
They are just not at it this season. Yes, they've been affected by injuries, but the squad they have is good enough. It's gonna, when we were talking about the predictions last week, the last episode, I told you that the Bournemouth was going to win the game.
You mentioned that,
and there was going to be goals. Indeed. Yeah. So their defense is extremely shaky. I think Van Dijk is off. Van Dijk is should be looking to go to a new club.
Obviously,
I think Liverpool, even Konate, I think they need a breath of fresh air in that defense. A really strong defensive unit, which is not it at this moment. They are conceding a lot of goals for a club like Liverpool. for a club that were champions just last season. So it's too bad. Yeah, they are creating chances, but their striker issue is also affecting things. Isaac has been injured for months now. They've not seemed to be able to solve that. So I think it's all about Liverpool accepting that this season was not going to be it. Unfortunately, the Jota incident and all that probably affected the team's mojo. But I think it's all about the team being humble, realizing that they are not in this season, and just look for ways to qualify for the Champions League. Save their season.
Liverpool is, to me, Liverpool isn't Arsenal, because some persons, I've seen a lot of Liverpool fans making that call already for a certain slot to be sidelined, to be fired. I mean, this is a guy that came in from Netherlands and gave them the league in their first season, his first season. I mean, so now people making that call, are you thinking it's too early or it's unfair to Slot, who have came in first this make it a very good impression, deliver the league? So if perhaps things are not going his well this season, do you think making that call from Liverpool fans, making that call now is too early, or perhaps it's unjust to Slot?
I don't think it's unjust. I think fans call for the sacking of a manager based on the performance, based on what they are seeing. Because if a manager fails to address issues, fails to accept mistakes, fails to build a squad based on what they currently need, then there will be, I would say there will be a particular way in which the fans will look at that manager.
Definitely.
And Slots last season, most of what Slots used last season, most of his squad players were players from his predecessor. That's Klopp.
Yeah, Jurgen Klopp.
These are players that Klopp built a very, very strong mentality in them. And this season was when Slot brought in his own players, really brought in his own tactics, those that he wants. And Liverpool have gone above and beyond to spend on him, to spend and bring in these players, what they didn't even do for Klopp.
No, they didn't give Klopp those funds. No,
yeah, they didn't do that for Klopp. So you expect, based on what was spent, that there will be some sort of return on investment, some impact from the manager. But it seems like he's out of ideas. The areas that were meant to be addressed wasn't addressed defensively. It wasn't addressed. So I feel that they are right to call for a sacking, because Liverpool has been extremely poor this season.
Well, on the contrary, I think Slot will be needing some more time perhaps, because as you rightly mentioned, he inherited a squad that wasn't really his, so he's trying to build something new. He has signed a couple of players. You also said Isaac is out injured. This is one of the most performing, or one of the informed striker last season. Liverpool spent a lot of money to get him on board. So I think Slot will need.
But they have Eketike. They have Eketike. They have Wits. They have players that they signed for huge.
Yeah, but we still need to.
Available.
Yes, we still need to understand that most of these players, except for perhaps Isaac that came in within the league, most of these other guys, like the kind of Florian Wirtz now, they came in from different leagues, So English Premier League is one of the toughest leagues for a player to come in, regardless of your acumen now, whoever you're coming from. It's tough for you to just come in and settle in like that, and start giving in that crazy performance that the fans need. These
are champions. These are Premier League champions.
Yeah,
the mentality is already there. You have players that are welcoming you as champions. You understand? And besides, Eketike has been in good form. Wait, yes, he's taking time to adjust and all. Salah is now has reached his peak and is now declining. I think they have what it takes to do better. I think they do.
Well, maybe or not. Slot is fired. Let's see how it all pans at the end of the season. Now, an Enzo Fernandez perfect penalty secured Chelsea precise win away at Palace. It doesn't look to me anymore like a new manager bounce, as you always say, for Liam Rosny now. He seems to be doing a very good job. Are you looking at Liam to be that guy now, the guy that has substance, perhaps the person Chelsea have been looking for all along?
I can't say it's too early for that.
For you to make that.
It's very, very early for that. I think Crystal Palace played very, very poorly. I watched the game. They played very poorly. Mateta missed the one-on-one. I think that's the 100th one-on-one he has missed this season. He's not performing according to what his XG is saying. So he missed a clear chance at goal. They had a red card. They are losing their players. So it's not just a good team at this time. Chelsea, yes, they did very well. They did very well, but not up to the standard where you say, okay, this man is, yes, he has this team, he's going to be a huge success at this club. Because I saw moments that would have gone Crystal Palace way, but they just failed to take their chances. Credit to Estaval, very brilliant goal, brilliant assist.
Yeah.
He hasn't gotten a goal since October, and against Barcelona, I think, and he just came now and showed why he's highly rated. So credit to him, and also credit to Chelsea as well.
Indeed. Well, before we close in on the weekend review on those top distance, let's take a look at that Man U team. We've not really gone into their distance. What's up with Michael Carrick? Yeah. Because he had 2 fantastic games. These are not just casual games. He won against City, a very statement win. Now he did it again against Arsenal. I think he deserves some accolades already.
Definitely. Remember that when he came in as a caretaker, not I think 3 seasons ago.
Yes,
he also didn't lose against this so-called top 4 teams. So I think it's huge credit to him. He's a huge personality at Manchester United, a legend. Has worked under Ferguson for years. So played under Ferguson for years, and knows what it means to play for Manchester United. He was a mainstay in their midfield. He knows exactly what it means, the mentality. Like Cunha said after the game, he told them what it means to play for the club. And in the past 2 games, they've shown it. They've been resilient. They've shown that they wanted it more. They showed that this is not where Manchester United should be, and we want to take Manchester United to where they should be. Manchester United is difficult to score against. Arsenal's goals were a corner and an own goal. So they are difficult to score against, right? In the past 2 games, and they are creating chances, which is very, very good.
Definitely, yeah.
If you are creating chances and you are also difficult to score against, that's some sort of template that you can build upon.
Exactly.
And a key thing is also that mentality, like I said. When you watch the game against Arsenal, even while Man U were winning, they were still pressing. They were still pressing. You saw Cunha, Mbeumo, you saw Ahmad, they were still Fernandes, they were still pressing and not sitting back. So that's the mentality. That's what he has told his players, that this is what I want. This is, believe in yourself. Relax, calm. You have the prestige. You play for this club. This is how this club should be represented. And I think they are doing it, and they did it in these past 2 games. So yeah, he deserves all the praise.
Looking at the players in that game, who would you say had an outstanding performance for you in the game against, between Arsenal and Man U?
Manchester United. I think I would say Maguire has a huge shout. Yes, they conceded 2 goals, but Arsenal barely created anything, because of Maguire's leadership in that back line, and the way he organized the defense, and also how he was confident. Maguire has come through a rough patch, but he stood out for me. Arsenal couldn't create anything. And I will also say that Man U played as a team. They were all committed.
Okay.
Both defensively, attacking, they were all committed. They understood themselves very, very well. Me singling out Maguire is just because of Arsenal's inability to create anything. But Manchester United played as a unit. They understood each other very, very well. And credit to Dogu, brilliant goal as well.
That was a very, very, very brilliant goal to shoot from that. It was very brilliant. Well, Szoboszlai, regardless of their loss away to Bournemouth, I think he also had a very nice game. A goal and a very precise free kick and an assist for Virgil van Dijk header. Well, that will be all on the weekend review. Let's take a look at the top performing players game week 23 in the score rival leaderboard now. So we have some guys that brought out their A games, and they did their own thing. We have Hilary Oga. Hilary Oga is on 69 points.
Hilary Oga, this guy doesn't want to drop. I think the guy has been number 1 since Scorrival started. The guy has been on very hot, good form. I don't think he's dropping anytime soon.
He knows his onions. We also have Benaya Chukwudi. Chukwudi is also on 69 points.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. 2 players on 69 points.
Yes. 2 players on 69 points. So we have the Akemi is on 67 points. Were you expecting him to be rated higher on this on game week 23?
Well, all I know is that we have very good punters on Scorrival. I think this week has been competitive. Having 2 points separate the first three is a very competitive one.
Yeah.
But the Alchemist has been, I think, he's in top five as well, top five of the whole season. So I think it's expected that he will be there as well.
That's right. So we have Olademiji is also on 67. Now these are two players on 67 points. The Akemi is also on 67 points, and Olademiji is also on 67 points. How do you rate that?
Wow, this week is really tight.
Very, very tight. Yeah, number one and number two, 69 points each. Then 3 and 4, 67 points each.
Wow, this week is really tight. That means the game tonight is going to decide who.
The game tonight decide who gets the win for game week 23. Then we have closing in on number 5 is Vivo Pascal, who is on 64 points.
They are just too close to each other.
Yeah, so
anyone can take it this week.
Yes, obviously. So we have just 5 points separating the guy Larry Oga at number 1 with 69 points, and then the person on number 5, Vivo Pascal, who is on 64 points.
Wow, that's close.
So can we take a look at Score Review players stats for this week, game week? Let's see how the players performed across board. Let's take a look at defense now. Okay, we have Mickey Van de Ven, who is on 8 points. He had a goal as a defender. So getting a goal automatically got him 8 points, leading the defenders board now on game week 23. Let's take a look at forward. We have Estevao.
And he has been scoring this season as well.
Yeah. Estevao and Gerard Bowen, they are both on 9 points. Estevao had a very nice game yesterday. I didn't quite catch up with Bowen, but I think he also had a very decent game. They are both on 9 points.
Yeah, they both got a goal and assist.
Put them both on 9 points each. Now let's take a look at goalkeepers. Okay, we have some good performance here. 3 guys who are on 8 points. They had clean sheets. Okay. We have Martinez for Aston Villa, Donnarumma for Manchester City, and Sales for Nottingham Forest. Have Nottingham Forest kept a clean sheet in that game? That's impressive.
Yeah,
very much impressive.
You were saying what's their name? Brentford was going to. I told you these guys are fighting for their lives.
I didn't see that coming. Seriously,
these guys are fighting for their lives. So you always, at this point in the season, you always feel that they will have the edge over the other team.
I mean, I expected Nottingham Forest to give a fight, considering that they are fighting for to sustain, to keep themselves in the league. But I don't expect them to go away at Brentford and pick a win.
It's the Premier League.
Indeed. Anything is possible in the Premier League. I also saw what happened in the game between Sunderland losing woefully to West. Where is West Ham getting that mojo from? This is a team that's already relegation bound, if you ask me.
No, West Ham is not relegation. West Ham is just 5 points.
Yeah, and but
there's 15 games to go.
Yeah, but
15 games is 45 points.
The same as Nottingham Forest, who could leave their spot for them, fighting very hard to keep. So already they're still maintaining that 5 points gap between them and West Ham.
It's still a lot of fights.
Well, in the Premier League,
a long time.
Everything is possible. Everything is possible in the Premier League. Well, let's take a look at top performing defenders for game week 23. We have Dominic Szoboszlai, who's on 10 points. Regardless of the fact that Liverpool lost that game, Szoboszlai was an outstanding player in that game.
Assist, very well. He has been doing very well throughout the season. I think he's also been pitched for the next Liverpool captain as well. So he has that leadership. Every game he turns up. So I think he deserves what he's getting right now. Yeah,
Szoboszlai have that winning mentality. He's always getting the. Van Dijk seems to be as you said, he's on a high decline, very high. Doesn't look like that guy anymore. He used to be one of the best performing centre backs in the Premier League. He doesn't look like the guy anymore.
Not at all. Not at all.
Well, that will be all on. That's it for player performance this week on Score Review Top Charts. That's all for us today on the weekend preview on Score Review TV. I appreciate your time with us. Subscribe, turn on your notification. We'll see you on our next episode. Chike, what's your final words for the fans now?
Okay. So you've seen what we do here. Talk about the weekend predictions, analyze football games, and also our Score Review app where we predict and build fantasy team as well. So you download the Score Review app, keep in touch with your favorite players, build your team, predict games, and prove that you know football. Prove that you know football. It's not about telling your friends, prove it on Score Review. check the leaderboard, see what's going on there, and see if you can beat the number one. So yeah, until next time, this is Chike.
See you guys on the next episode. Bye for now.
Bye.
Scarivo. Chase the streak. Claim the glory.